This, have you already started recording?
Yeah,
This is high quality shit we're putting on here.
it's a good start.
This is almost the beginning of the podcast. The podcast started a minute ago when everyone was fucking around, but this is now the beginning of the podcast. So, how the hell are you guys this week?
I'm making it through.
Making it through.
Making it through. It's been a good start to the week, I think.
Start first day off to a good start.
First day off to a good start. Did you know that as of today, everything else that you make in the season is yours to keep? Do you know what I mean? So today is June 19th for a timestamp. If you are employed in Canada, every single dollar you've made from January 1st up until this day goes to pay taxes. And everything that's left for the rest of the year, you get to keep.
So like 6 months. Nice.
Yeah, just about. So half of everything you made goes straight to the government.
Wow.
Should make it July 1st. We're not giving enough.
Canada Day.
We're not giving enough.
We're not doing enough for everybody. We need to do more.
Well, that's
Absolutely.
depressing.
Is it? This is the greatest country in the world.
Well, I guess if our taxes went to things that were good, but we know that's not always the case.
What do you think taxes go to that isn't good, Mike?
I think some of our taxes went to Trudeau's family for some speeches or something like that, and some embezzlement.
And vacations.
You're trying to say that's not good?
I mean, it's good for him.
Whatever is good for him is good for me.
I guess so. Not for me. I disagree.
Do you disagree strongly?
I disagree strongly.
Disagree strongly?
Yeah.
Did we get any questions, Mike?
We got tons of questions. Yeah. Do you want
topics?
Wide ranging as usual from our audience.
Pick the strangest topic for topic one.
Are we getting into the questions right away?
Why not?
You said this was a limited episode. You're the one that isn't dedicated to this podcast. You do nothing for this, Mike. Well, how about what was the shittiest thing that happened to you since the last podcast?
Well, I have something maybe to spark a little conversation as to how you guys would handle this.
Sure.
I had a client reach out to me on YouTube to get a quote. Did my pre-qualification, made sure that they knew kind of what they were getting into, and I met with him, and we had a great meeting, and told him, yeah, we're in the ballpark of what I told you, but I'll prepare you a quote and send it out to you. And I'm just getting things popping up left and right on my computer. So I sent him the quote about 3 days later, and he calls me today and he says, Mike, is there any way that we can drop this by what is about $5,000? And that works out to be about 20%
of
the job.
And you said,
he goes on.
Pay my taxes.
Yeah. So I say, no, that's it. I could not do that. Like, the only thing that you could do to be able to reduce the cost would be to take away from the scope of work. So whether that's, taking away the side walkway, and we do that another year. And then so he went on about, well, I've got other quotes from contractors, but it doesn't seem really like they're a great fit for us, and I really want you to do it. And my daughter just got something that we need to send her out east to compete in some sports competition. So that came up.
Shit. Did you tell her that? Did you tell him, well, I'll drop my price 10,000 then? Like, bro, if your daughter needs to compete in a sports competition, I'll basically do it for free. Like, yeah. Fuck, shit. Like, why are we even talking? Why didn't you say this to me before I compared the quote? If you had just said, listen, my daughter's in sports, I would have said, shit, we don't even need to do a quote. Just tell me what you want. I'll start the trucks rolling tomorrow. Your daughter's in sports? Okay. Oh, fuck yeah. How can I be of service to you?
It gets better. It gets better. So I brought up the scope of work. I said, okay, well, if that came up, why don't we maybe do the patio this year and then hold off on the side walkway till next year? That gives you a little bit of time, a little bit of buffer room. And they say, well, it's still the same price though. That doesn't save us on price. I said, yes, right. It's absolutely correct. And it may even go up a little bit next year in price. But at least you have a little bit of time to save for when you want to do that sidewalkway, saving you a little bit of time in that. And then they say, at the end of all of this, they ask, well, can we pay by credit card? And I say, we only take e-transfer and check. And they said, oh, so we can save the tax then if we're just going to do it that way. And I said, no, that's just not how it works.
All of this would be a lot of red flags that I would be like, you know what? I don't think I'm the right fit for you.
And then to top of this all off, they added to the scope of work. So when the conversation was all over and I said, you know what? I can take a look at my numbers again, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to be working out to what you want it to be. And then they said, oh, Mike, we actually want to add a couple of steps as well to this. So can you rework the numbers and see about those steps?
Keep in mind, when you rework the numbers, our daughter's in sports.
So how would you guys deal with this?
Oh, I would have walked.
You've taken it way further than I would have.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I probably would have got trapped in the conversation like you did.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't reprice the work.
No, I'm not going to.
I would probably send an email saying, I don't think I'm the right fit for you.
I thought about asking them to send me a quote because I know they've met with a couple or at least a couple of other contractors just to see how others are pricing that type of job. I thought about asking for that and seeing if I could match it just so I could see what others are doing. And then I thought about sending a lead PK's way because I think this is PK's neck of the woods too. So
really,
this is in Pickering.
Pickering,
yeah.
Oh yeah, send it to me. Maybe I already did. How do you know I didn't already meet them?
I don't know. You could have.
I went to look at a job in Pickering, and it was putting in 3 steps, but there was a wall that was like 20 feet tall, and I called Arns and was like, "Hey, will your crane lift these steps up? Because there was no way up on top of the wall. Like it was just like the hardest 3 stairs to put in ever." And so Nancy said, "What should they budget?" And I said, "I don't know. Tell them to budget like $6,000 at least." Like I don't even understand how we're going to do this. So, like, and so then
how do they get to their own door then if it's up 20 feet?
Because it's like a reverse driveway, but then there's a set of stairs to go up to the door, but it's like a huge wall, and then the lot's on a pie, and it tapers into nothing, and the wall hits the corner of the lot. It's fucking weird. It was terrible. It was I was like, I want anything to do with this job. I'd rather pick up pop bottles in the fucking ditch. Like, it's this terrible job. Like the only way to get things up, I thought, well, if they spun it around on their crane, maybe they could get it up there, right? And then but then the stairs are up there, but what are you doing with them then? Because they had to be one piece. They had to be one-piece stairs. Like, what the fuck are we doing with them once they're there? We can't get a machine up there. The stairs are close, but you still got to lift them. I was pretty happy that lady didn't have the right budget for us. She can do it some other time, as far as I'm concerned.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. Those stairs were getting into the discretionary warranty of none.
Of none.
Yeah. They're getting the Chad discretionary warranty.
So what are you going to do with this guy, Mike? Are you?
I'll just shoot him an email and say it doesn't look like we'd be a good match, and maybe better off to work with another contractor.
Yeah.
You should say Paver King's a local contractor.
I could say I wouldn't send you that type of lead.
Then send me the quote and I'll just send it back to him exactly the same.
Yeah, the same price.
There's a couple times this year I like priced stuff where I knew there was the other like someone else was pricing it that I knew, and I was like, these fucking people waste our time so much. Like, let's just send in exactly the same price, or like I don't want this job. There's a lot of debating about it. So these people waste so much of contractors' time. Like, is it not okay to waste a bit of their time back?
I've had that more this year than ever, where like I tried my best to pre-qualify, and if they're not going to give me their budget, I let them know the range that it's going to be in, and I'm always within that range when I quote. And then they either say it's out of their price range when they get the quote, or I have to follow up with them and they say it's out of their price range.
Perfect.
So but they knew when I was going to go out to meet them that was going to be the price.
Yeah.
Wow, that's because they're stupid.
So when do you guys start charging for quotes then?
Is that? I would say that's the maybe not the only solution, but that's the only thing that I can think of right now to deal with those types of projects. Though I did close one today. I got the email where I thought it was going to be the case that they were just in that same boat of clients, but they signed up. So
where were they? Kitchener?
Yeah, they're in Kitchener.
Yeah, you see the market I have to fucking deal with.
Yeah, actually, it does seem to be the GTA that those are the clients that I get. Out Kitchener way, it's fine.
Well, I mean, I can say that I have like eons of people now, not eons, but we've had like a lot of like new clients and some older clients too. That this year is the first year everyone's trying to negotiate like $50 off their bin, and I'm like, no, politely go fuck yourself. Like, no, like if you're we send out pricing and I stand by it for the whole year. Even last year when fuel went like fucking outrageously expensive, I stood behind the price sheet I put out. I didn't change it because I didn't think that was fair after people had priced their jobs off that sheet. And I'm like, you have the price sheet. Fuck off. And if your job is honestly in a state where you're like, man, I got 3 bins on this job and there's no fucking way I'm going to make money unless I get $50 a bin off. If your job is in a state where you're doing a 3-bin project and the $150 that you get off of the bins is what makes or breaks you on that job, you are fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want you as a client because you're probably not going to pay the rest of the fucking money. Yeah. So I guess.
Yeah, $150, like, or $50 a bin isn't a big deal at all.
That's really,
I would feel bad to ask.
Yeah.
I had to call our plant material supplier today and ask if they could match someone else's price. And I was on the phone. I'm like, listen, I'm the last person to ever ask to do this, but I'm bidding with a partner of mine, and like we have this job, but it could be yours if you can just match this one price. And I'm like, I felt fucking terrible about doing it, but it's like, yeah, we could do that. And great. So just scored himself a $25,000 plant job by coming down on one thing. But like, I will never ask someone to come down on something, like, even on like Marketplace or fucking Kijiji or whatever. Like, I don't haggle.
So Chad, you saved $50 on a $25,000 order?
No, it was like it was like $6,000, and it was on a different job.
Nice.
Or something like that. But I don't know. They've been really good to us, the tree guys. So anyway.
I guess though, I think it's a derivative of everyone is squeezing their price. So last year, where people would be like, I'm digging out 500 square feet, I need 3 bins. This year, people are like, I'm digging out 500 square feet, I'll squeeze that motherfucker into 2 bins. Or, like, people are trying to like squeeze the pricing down to get, because they think, I mean, it's the lowest common denominator to get work, right? If you have a good presentation and you're the lowest price, you have a really good shot at getting the work. And so people are squeezing. And in the end, it's like, then on the back end, I'm like picking up bins that are crazily overloaded. And fucking, I'm like, okay, this is.
Do you have a surcharge for overloaded bins? Like because ultimately that's your fine, right? Like whenever you're driving
Yeah,
down
it
the road,
is.
overloaded.
Ultimately, well, usually Cody or I give them shit, or they get voted off the island and I just never talk to them again. There's 2 or 3 people this year that got voted off the fucking island. I don't, like, if they call, I just ignore them.
Are there names on that board behind you?
No, no, I'm not on the board. No, they're
Uh,
fucking.
can you shame them publicly on Favor King's Instagram page?
I
How will
have.
we know? Well,
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't.
the concrete bin guy, or the guy who put the concrete in the washes concrete out in the bin.
People are. Everyone. The same thing happens this year. Everyone wants like some kind of like. Everyone's got some kind of game they're running. We need you to do this, and I'm like, it just breaks up the flow of what we're doing. I don't think people think that if we're doing something for them, it's the only thing we're doing that week. But I'm like, sometimes we have 70 or 80 tickets we're going through, but everyone has like well, if you take it to my parents, uncle's, stepsister's farm, would it be cheaper? I'm like, no, I don't know where your parents, uncle's, stepfather's,
But they have to be
stepmother's
there,
farm.
and they have to show you where to dump.
And there's
Watch
nowhere.
out for the dog because.
And it's really wet, and you'll probably get fucking stuck, and blah, blah. Like, I'm like, yeah,
But
no, I'm
don't
not.
worry, they have a tractor from the 50s to pull you out.
Something will pull, yeah, and it's miles away and twice the driving, but we got like, I get it. Everyone's just really, all of it is just a derivative of people being scared. They're
Are
just
you scared?
Yeah,
Are
I
you
am.
guys scared? Are you really?
Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah. It's like I have no phone. My phone never rings. Like, yeah. I mean, I believe we'll be okay, but I also, if you're not worried, um, you know, commercially, I wouldn't be worried for another year. Because the
Yeah.
problem is right now, no one's starting any new projects. Every project's put on hold, and it takes 3 years for a project to come to fruition from idea to you actually working on it on average. So
Commercially or
commercially,
yeah.
just having been through this cycle before in my life.
Yeah.
Last time this happened, there was lots of work commercially, and then the next year there was literally none, not a fucking job. Because what happened was no one, well, it wasn't the next year, it was like 2 years later. The market crashed, everyone pulled their money out of the market, there was no new construction starting. And then, I mean, even now, like you drive around, there's all kinds of like abandoned, half-built houses and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, well,
Where
because
you
everyone's
guys are.
pulling their money. So I commercially, I think you're fine for a couple of years, and then hopefully if you have a good client base, there's always going to be someone building something.
Yeah.
You'll be grinding hard commercially in 2 years compared to
Yeah.
now. You're still. That's what started the whole residential thing at Lake Ridge. There was no. There was literally no.
Side.
There was literally no fucking work. There was nothing to bid. No one was working. There was no fucking work. So we just started because when commercial dies, residential takes off.
Right? I could go either way. Like if I had to slug it through the residential world for a season or two, I would do it with a smile on my face, just knowing that we had some work, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever pays the bills. I'm partial to commercial, but whatever pays the bills.
Yeah, I prefer to do commercial work too, but like this year we're doing whatever comes. Whatever comes, we'll do it. Mike's stealing all the fucking leads with his CELO or SEO or whatever in Pickering. So
CO.
Fucking guy from Kitchener's taking jobs in Pickering. That's what the fucking problem is. Fucking motherfuckers from Kitchener coming into Pickering, stealing our fucking work.
That's a long haul. That's a 2-hour throw. Just about.
I live in Toronto though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pickering is actually closer than Kitchener.
Really?
You're still going against the traffic.
Traffic goes both ways, does it not?
Yeah, a little bit, but there's still like in the mornings he would be coming from Toronto to Pickering when everyone's going the other way.
Yeah.
So you'd still be, and you'd be going home to Toronto when everyone's coming out of Toronto.
Yeah.
So your only jam is if you're at the DVP, because the DVP it switches.
Yes. Yeah.
Like once you hit the DVP, everyone's going west to go home, and everyone's coming. Like it's, anyways. I only know that from driving to soccer. Because when you get to the DVP, it fucking stops every night.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
It's fucking awesome. They don't have these problems in like 12-lane highways in Cornwall.
We don't have these problems, no.
Is there traffic in Cornwall?
Not very often. For the most part, we're traffic free. Unless like the 401 gets plugged up or something. There's a lot of accidents on the 401 around here. They'll close down the highway for hours and hours at a time, and
then everyone buys pizza in Cornwall.
Everyone buys pizza and blocks the entrance to my shop. Yeah.
Do people block the entrance to your shop? Is it pretty busy street?
It's right on the like a main off ramp. I'm like not even a kilometer north of one of the main off ramps or on ramps. So yeah, if it gets clogged up, then there's traffic in front of my yard and stuff.
I had an interesting conversation today with someone who was talking about equity in your company. And if after everything's said and done, you're not earning at least 15% on the equity, equity of your company, the value of the equity in your company, if you're not earning 15%, then you should sell everything and just invest in the equity in the stock market.
Yeah.
Because the stock market has like traditionally a 10.6% return. So if you have $1 million equity, after everyone's salaries, everything's paid, you should be able to walk with 150 grand a year. And if you're not walking with 150 grand a year, then you should sell all your shit and invest in the stock market. Obviously, Mike, you've heard that before because you're nodding your head.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I would say the safer thing to say is like 8% on average if you were to invest in like a broad range index fund. So if 8% is that,
you see me investing in a broad range index fund.
So if 8% is your return on something that takes no time of yours, that takes no effort, it just takes capital, your business should be earning double that at least because of all the risk that you carry, right? You got drivers on the road, that's risk. You got employees with heavy equipment, that's risk.
Who drive it on the road and then destroy the road on Friday afternoon at 3:30. Yeah.
But I would argue that the road was never thick enough to begin with. Someone didn't do their job at a fucking 1-inch thick lip of asphalt.
I also think though that portion of the road had like hundreds of triaxles and cement trucks and shit come through it to get into the property. Yeah. So I think that I just thought, I honestly find it more amusing that it happened Friday at 3:30 than like, I'm just like, it's like, you couldn't beat this. This is the stuff legends are made out of, like Friday, 3:30. If it was a long weekend, it would have been a little bit better, but it wasn't a long weekend. So
what are you going to do about it?
We're going to cut the road and patch it. I met there today, and so we're going to cut the road, and the asphalt guy's going to come patch it on Friday.
For the cost of that whole job.
We were floating a dozer for free when that happened, so there's that too.
Of course you were.
Yeah.
For free.
It's the magic whirlwind of
that'll do it.
Whenever you're doing something where there's no money for free with a borrowed piece of equipment, things don't go well.
Yeah, you should at least charge $1 because then
there's the magic of that. So all in all, I feel like no one got hurt and no one lost any limbs and we didn't kill anyone, so it was a win.
Yeah.
I think all in all, it was still a win. So I don't, yeah, whatever. But it is Friday at 3:30. So I feel like 3:30 is the witching hour. When
The
shit's
devil's
gonna go
hour.
bad, it goes bad at 3:30.
Every day or just Friday?
Any day I get between 3:30 and 4 without someone calling me with something tragic, I call a win. 3:30 to 4 o'clock is the witching hour. It's when the shit goes wrong. Because there's not really enough time in the day to fix it, or it fucks up your whole night, or it fucks up your next morning. It's just that is 3:30 to 4 o'clock is the fucking witching hour, in my opinion. Whatever that's worth, which we all know I give away my opinion for free and never charge for it. So that's that. Bring on the questions, Mike.
Ready? All right. Very first one here from JFS Property Care. Jake there asks how to avoid burnout mid-season. Have you guys hit burnout yet? Are you there? And how do you avoid it?
I've been tired since '87. So
what happened in '87?
I started landscaping. I've just been tired ever since.
I was 1 year old when you started landscaping.
Mike might not have been born.
I was not born yet.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Yeah. So I've been tired since '87. And I've found the best way to avoid, like, to control burnout is energy drinks and pepperonis. I don't think I think you can't avoid it. You just have to, on a serious note, you can't avoid it. You just have to accept it. And then you're just not going to get some shit done. And that's the way it's going to be.
Are we talking like an emotional burnout, or are we talking like a physical, like
exhaustion,
I'm tired
burnout?
all day? Yeah, like what's the...
I think the emotional one brings upon the physical one anyways, right? But you can be physically without the emotional? I don't know.
I feel like having more workers takes some of that burnout off my shoulders. I feel like now that I can lean on 8 different guys, I don't get as burnt out as I used to get, or problems don't seem as big as they used to be. And I think that, I don't know. So like an extra man at whatever you're paying them, $800 a week or whatever it is, right? That goes a long way to
Starting a
taking
business
the
in
load off.
Cornwall. People show up for $800 a week.
Oh fuck!
Cornwall, baby.
That's not a bad waging. Well, no, nobody makes $800 a week in the company, but this group of people that I promised to hire that I've yet to hire, they all come from a program where they subsidize, I think, $14 an hour for 35 hours a week, and then I just kick in the rest of whatever I feel like they are worth. But so that takes some of the stress off too, right? Or the burnout, relieve some of the burnout if I have 4 guys on rakes making $6 an hour.
And this is why that right there is why you should be happy that you should want to pay tax till July 1st.
Well,
where do you think that $14 is coming from? Your taxes.
My tax money, absolutely.
Exactly, yeah. You found a way to get it back.
I found a way. So not only that, we're working at
We're putting this program in the show notes so that anyone else that wants to sign up. Mike, can we put the program in the show notes?
We can do whatever we want in the show notes.
All right. So is there a website for this program, Chad?
I'll find something for you guys.
Okay. So Mike is putting the $14 an hour subsidized labor to get your taxes back personal Chad program in the show notes. It'll say Chad, get your tax money back program. And then there'll be a website link below it in the show notes.
If you're all just subscribe to my university, it's in the course.
I commented on that. Is there any athletic scholarships? He liked it. He did not confirm or deny athletic scholarships, but he did like it. So there was that. I think Chad makes a good point that having a bit more help probably cuts down on burnout.
Yeah, I think so. It's worked for me so far. But the season's not over.
The season's not over, babe.
How do you reduce burnout, Mike?
Everybody's got a superpower. And everybody's like, yeah, their superpower is like what they're really good at. I think I'm really good at overwhelming myself with work and taking on too much and burning out quicker and quicker each and every year. So this year I've already kind of felt it. How do I reduce it? I don't know. I don't even have an answer for that, to be honest. I just keep on working.
I feel like it's really easy to burn yourself out as a one-man show.
Yeah.
Like, that's got to be tough.
I mean, usually the winters is like a really good time for me to kind of like regroup and stuff. But this last winter, I took on quite a bit and probably worked harder than I worked during the actual season. Which bled into the start of this season, which was, trying to meet as many people as possible because of the possible downturn that we're experiencing and wanting to get work lined up, which led right into working right away to get jobs done, while also juggling everything that I got going on. And I felt at the start of the season how I normally feel in September every year. So I don't have an answer. That's a long way of saying I have no idea how to avoid burnout.
Energy drinks and pepperonis, man.
Yeah.
They never steer you wrong.
Pepperonis, they hurt my stomach now, and energy drinks hurt my heart. It feels like my chest is collapsing, but that could be alternative.
That's when you know the burnout's getting burnt off.
Oh, I see.
That's when you know your pepperonis hurt your they've been hurting my stomach since '88. It ain't stopped me. Fuck you talking about? Just keep eating those motherfuckers. Some hurt worse than others. You got to find the type that doesn't hurt as much, Mike.
That's the PK 75 hard.
PK 75 hard. Absolutely.
Life advice.
Life advice. Pepperonis and energy drinks. That'll keep you from burnout.
Make harsh rules and don't break them.
Make harsh rules and don't. Make harsh rules and don't break them while eating pepperonis and energy drinks. You ever shocked that sometimes I've made it to 49? Fucking miracle in itself.
Are we still going to H&A?
I don't know. We didn't make any money doing this, so I guess unless there's a big sponsor coming down the pipeline. Is there?
Maybe it's time.
Who haven't we offended?
Well, I think that part of our problem is that we're like there's some non-negotiables, and then you watch your sponsors show up on other podcasts, and you're like, they must have been easier going in the negotiations than we were.
But does that not make you feel good about yourself?
A little bit.
That you stick to your morals.
You stick to your guns. You know who you are. You're unwavering. Even if you're losing boatloads of money.
I might have heard on the and we could say this is the Caleb's Corner for this week, which may or may not be associated with, well, it's not associated with Caleb from Kid Contractor in any way, but also not associated with Fullerton Unfiltered. That Caleb, not associated with Caleb, often says that Brian, not associated with Fullerton Unfiltered, often says you can be right or you can be rich.
You can be right or you can be rich.
And I'm like, I'm really good at being right. But I mean, that's a really basic statement, but I think it's true. Like, you can either be right or you can, whatever you want, whatever you define rich as, you can be right and you can have no one, or you can have a family, or you can be right and you can, there's so many things that is actually like, that you're saying it in terms of money, but when you change rich to a million other things, you can fight about this or you can just give on it. And I am not good at that. I am the master of lost opportunity from wanting to ram something down someone's throat that they didn't agree with. So, it did occur to me when I noticed the sponsor showing up on a different podcast that we could have been right or we could be rich.
We chose to be right.
We chose to be right.
That's why we're not rich.
That's why I'll never have a tilt rotator. Thought about that too. Like, I guess I won't make it there. Anyways, you can be right or you can be rich. So I think that's actually a very good piece of advice from Caleb and Brian, not associated with either of those things. But so what was the next question, Mike?
Next question here. Give me a moment. But okay, next question here. Mulch. New Leaf Ottawa asks, what's everyone's thoughts on red mulch? Not fire mulch, red mulch.
Red mulch? Fuck red mulch.
Yeah,
I
I'm
agree.
not big on red mulch. Red mulch is akin to red brick chip. Is that popular where you guys are? Remember the red brick
not
chip?
popular.
I know what it is. Yeah, it was popular in Scarborough.
Was it?
Yeah.
Smashed up bricks. You just
clay chips.
Spread it all over your flower bed.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
The weeds start coming through it. Dirt. It's an amazing.
It always came paired with the really shitty landscape fabric.
Yes.
Not the good landscape fabric, but the shitty stuff.
Yeah, like the shitty, cheap landscape fabric.
Yeah.
Red mulch is the fucking COVID-19 of landscape products. I wouldn't even, if someone said to me, you can have this job, but you have to install red mulch, I'd be like, yeah, fuck that. I'm out of here.
Ooh, that's a deal breaker.
It is. It's like when someone tries to make me mix pavers. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'll see you later.
You can be red or you can be rich, right?
I've walked off properties when ask Nancy Green. I'll leave. I don't care. Whatever, man. I can mix pavers and have money, or I can pick up bottles out of the ditch.
The style is cyclical. Red mulch is probably going to come back in style at some point.
It was never in style.
It must have been in style, or people would not have had it to begin
McDonald's likes it.
McDonald's likes it, yeah.
People see it at the McDonald's and they're like, man, I want to be more like McDonald's. Apparently it was Grimace's 50th birthday.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah. I was disappointed that fucker's older than me. We look the same in a lot of ways.
Not older than you by much, though. Probably just by months, right?
It is only months that Grimace is older than me. The creation of Grimace.
Well, what about black mulch?
So in the Nancy Green world, you only install composted pine mulch.
Mm.
You do not install any other mulches for any reasons except for composted pine mulch.
What about bark chip?
You do not install that.
Bark nuggets? No.
The nuggets.
The nuggets?
The nuggets are like the red clay chips of mulch. They're big and they don't have a lot of good coverage. You need shitty fabric under them.
Yeah, the nuggets. I've been asked to drive to Ottawa specifically to get a truckload of bark nuggets.
Really?
Yeah.
What are they like? Why are they manufacturing that in Ottawa?
Because you can't get them here.
Really?
Yeah.
Cornwall's not a big market for
Cornwall doesn't have a market for.
That's an opportunity for your new landscape
nuggets.
Supply yard.
Big bunch of bark nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put them right beside the brick chip.
We did the white marble for a while.
Ooh,
Yeah.
the white marble.
The white marble. That was a thing for a bit.
Yeah, we have a bunch of white marble here too.
Yeah. People like the white marble.
I like the black granite.
We had that. I used that for a while.
People
like that against fences.
That's hard to get this shit out of though. Like as soon as shit starts falling in it, like it just stays there.
But what do you guys do against fences?
What do you mean?
Like where you got the edge restraint, which takes up about 4 inches off the fence. That's where I line black granite.
I don't build patios against fences.
Oh,
Yeah, I try and leave
no one can
space.
sit there anyways.
mm.
It's a waste of infrastructure.
Okay.
That's what I tell people.
Infrastructure.
Because no one sits right against the fence. No one wants to sit right against the fence. So why would you build a patio within 3 feet of the fence? You would rather push that square footage out into the yard where people would enjoy it. Because who the fuck wants to like sit their chair against the fence? That's what I
do the same. Yeah.
Like I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's what I tell people because it avoids Mike's situation.
Our current project has a pool like 1.5 feet away from the fence. So in that case, we're definitely paving right up to the fence to give them enough walkway around the pool.
So what are you gonna do? Like attach a board to the fence, then paver to the board?
No, we'll pave as close to the fence as possible, do our edge restraint, and then do black granite along the fence.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you ever do river rock?
Never. Always black granite.
What if?
But we do a lot of grays, right? Gray and black pavers.
What if someone wanted river rock?
What if
I would talk them into black granite?
What if the neighbor attached a chain to the edge restraint under the fence and pulled on it? Would you warranty the patio? Like say that.
Well, Chad, I think what kind of edge restraint is it? Is it aluminum edge restraint with massively angled weird aluminum spikes, or is it cement edge restraint?
Well, I haven't seen which one's stronger.
And the other thing is you only test that with a single line of pavers, not with a whole patio. So Mike might actually be in for a chain test. He said it's only 1.5 feet wide walkway. A chain test coming to your. Is that going to be your next YouTube video? Putting my
I need ideas. I'm running out of ideas. You don't know what's coming next.
The chain. I think, they never responded to my query about when they were going to start testing patios underwater. With climate change and the rising of the oceans, I feel that like they should get on top of it. They're supposed to be leaders of the industry and start testing underwater patios. So then we know when the flooding occurs from climate change. That what I need to know what edging is the best during the flooding during a climate change.
I built a patio underwater before.
You have?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's this place about half an hour from me. It's called Martintown, and every year the creek comes up probably 15 to 20 feet, and this guy has a backyard and he says, I want to put a patio down there. I said, well, how high does the water come in the spring? He goes, oh, it comes right up to the back deck. I said, well, your patio is going to be ruined. He's like, oh, yeah, but it's just going to be patio slab. I said, okay. So I dug 6 inches, put down clear, screeded the clear, put the patio slabs, and that was it. Never heard anything about it.
Wow.
I mean, there's no stand or anything like that.
He knew there was no discretionary warranty on that bitch.
Oh, no.
Did you test the edging?
There was no edging.
Should have tested it.
It's 2x2 patio slabs. It was early on in my career.
He's living on the fucking edge with no edging.
Yeah. I was afraid that someone might come by and pull it right out.
Next door to us is a rental property, and the owner of the rental property decided he wanted the people who live there to leave. Because they're obviously paying, they've lived there 8 years, so they're not paying enough to cover the new mortgage, I guess, when it renewed. So he did a bunch of renovations and claimed he was moving into the house. So that way he could kick them out and they would have to find a new place to live. And one of the renovations they did was hire a landscaper to do the driveway and the patio and the walkways. And so this landscaper showed up and there's not even edging on the patio or the driveway. I'm like, I don't know how bad a level of landscaper you are when you don't even install edging, but I was in the backyard this weekend, which is rare because we all know I try to avoid going outside. And I was looking over the fence, and from the big rainstorms, the one corner of the patio has already completely washed out and is falling apart. I mean, this isn't a month old, this work. The driveway is falling apart because there's no edging and it's moving all. It's like, this is one of the most poorly done jobs I've ever seen.
Right on.
Like, it is. And it's next door to my house. And so.
Were you offered the option to give a quote on that job?
No.
Would you have given a quote on that job?
No.
I don't know if I'd want to work for Neighbors.
I don't want to work on. Yeah.
Yeah.
We did a wall up the street, there's a grade break up the street from us, and they needed a real retaining wall, and we built that because they were really worried that someone would build a shit wall and it would fall over. So we built the real wall. Like, we built a real wall for them, and like a big block wall, which turned out good. It's still supporting their cars. All the parking is good. What's the next question, Mike?
That's a perfect segue to this question from at the Brickworks.
Ross from the Brickworks.
How do you handle friends, family that want work done? Timelines, discounts, etc. I don't do any work for friends, family, unless like it's my brother, I guess, or somebody really close to me, but I haven't, and I typically refer them to somebody.
Yeah, maybe earlier on in my career, I would have done more for people that I knew because they thought they were doing me a favor or something like that. But
they were
in recent years. What do you mean? Yeah. So, no, I prefer not
your
to work
portfolio.
Yeah, they may have been, but I prefer not to work for people I know. I'll tell them, "Hey, we're busy," and they sort of get the hint. So,
so I recently had someone ask us to price, but this was a 1-year process because it was me trying to. So, someone from one of P's old soccer teams asked me to price their house, and I went and looked at it, and it's in a beautiful house, and they just finished renovating it, and but I could tell from the beginning there was like they did all the renovation work themselves. It's beautiful. They did all the work themselves. But when it came to the outside, it's a lot more machinery, and you don't like randomly have a bobcat like you might randomly have a chop saw. It's a different world. And so I knew their expectation of cost and actual costs were vastly different. So what I did was pawn it off on Nancy Green and say, can you go there and tell them how much it costs just for a drawing, and then give them a rough estimate that the job is probably worth between $100,000 and $120,000. And so she went there and she said those things and gave them a rough estimate of what it would cost. And I felt like the situation had been successfully handled, but I was wrong. And then I got, because I was trying to get out of it without actually, not because I care about doing the quote, but because when someone believes that something's worth $5,000 and it's really worth $50,000, when you give them a real quote, there's some people will get upset about it and be like, "Oh, you're trying to rip me off" or whatever. And so I thought, I'm free and clear of this. But then my email went off, and in my email, the lady said, "I've done my own drawing for you to price." And I was like, okay, this actually got worse. So I priced it and sent the quote, and then never heard back from it again. Because, and that's the thing, like I think that one of the things I do when someone asks family members or friends or someone, I encourage them to call someone else for quotes first. And then I'll sit down with them and go over the quotes and tell them whether they're reasonable or not. And then that at least gives them a base of where our quote might be coming from.
That's smart.
Because I think that's, Because if you're the only one bidding it, like there's some people who legitimately are going to call you that are your friends or friends of your parents or something, and they're calling you because they're legitimately worried about getting fucked. They're legitimately worried about a pool guy who takes their deposit and never shows up to dig the pool after they've paid Chad for all the material at the other supplier. So, like, there's people who are legitimately worried about getting fucked up. So, shimming them off or not paying attention to them is not good. So, if they get quotes from two other people and you go sit down at the table and go through the quotes with them, it's an easy way to either say these quotes are invalid because of these reasons, or hey, these quotes are on the money, they're exactly where I would be. And then you just let someone else price it, and that's the end of the end of the problem. Anyways,
that's smart. That's smart. I like that. But then you have to, like, I don't feel like I have the time to sit down at someone's kitchen table with them and walk them through two other landscapers' quotes.
So it would depend, like if it was like your best friend's mom, or if it's just someone they could email it to you.
Yeah, I suppose.
You can do an email assessment of it and email them back.
Yeah.
You're not getting out of any of it without spending some time or insulting people.
Sure.
So just you can decide on the level of how well you know them. If it's someone you met in college once, then maybe you do the email method. If it's your mom's best friend that you're going to see every fucking day, you probably go over there and sit down at the table. It's a judgment call. It's up to your discretion.
So one of my best friend's moms asked us to do a job, like a repair job for her, because they had done the work themselves years before and it was fucked. And it's big slab, right? So there's nothing fun about a big slab repair job.
No, God.
No, and I'm like, okay, it'll be between 3 and 6K or whatever, or something like that. She's like, well, how do I know how much it is? I'm like, because it's between that number, depending on like what we get into and all this stuff. And then she's like, when can you do it? I'm like, I don't know. We'll fit it in somewhere. And then later in the season, she texted me, she said, okay, do you have time for a small job now? And I'm just like, I got pissed off that she thought it was a small job to repair the fucking mess that they had made to begin with. So I'm just like, you know what? Forget it. I'm not even doing this.
Fuck my mom's friend. This isn't a porno. I'm not here to help you.
Not here to help you. No,
I'm running a business, man. This isn't OnlyFans over here.
I feel like whenever the client does the job themselves and then they want you to fix it,
that's a nasty situation.
It's a shitty situation to begin with, because you already they already tried to get it for cheap, and now they want to get it for cheap again because they think it's already half done now.
Mm-hmm.
They don't think it takes much to correct their problems when their problems are right to the fucking bottom of the job.
The whole job's fucked. Everything's garbage.
Yeah.
Might as well buy all new stone.
Yeah.
Or you can speed it up like Mike and sell it on the side.
Sell it right in front of their house with a for sale sign.
Several times in my life, I've been to quotes. I've been looking at and someone will say, well, what do you think of the existing landscape? And I'll be like, well, did you inherit this? Or I'll just say something like, try not to say anything negative because you don't want to be negative at quotes, but you say like, well, maybe the 2-foot ruts going into the garage are a problem. And they'll be like, I laid this myself 27 years ago. Fuck. Well, you didn't do a great job, bro. I don't know what to tell you. It's really fucked up. I ask people, did you pay for this or did you inherit it?
I always ask people, do you know the person who installed this? Because if it's them, they'll say, yeah, it was me. If it's their friend who did it, I want to know that before I say anything. So
that's a good point.
Yeah.
That is definitely
either way, you wouldn't be there if it was great. So what do they expect? Right?
Miracles.
Like
for no money. That's what they expect. They expect you to fix it and they expect you to do it for free.
Well, if it's within 9 years, I'll fix it.
That was always the difficult part about being like a primarily lift and relay business was for the most part, you're not dealing with people that are necessarily happy for having to contact you.
Mm.
Especially when like 2 years ago, I was getting tons of calls about people who got left by pool companies with unfinished projects and yeah, things like that. And they're looking for it for cheap, right? Because obviously they paid for it for cheap. It didn't get done. They're disappointed. And now they need somebody to come in and fix it for cheap.
There's a
Yeah.
detachment from reality, from what they should have
Yeah.
paid the first time.
Yeah.
So how do you swallow that second pill? Like first you got fucked, and now you realize that the deal that you thought where you were getting the first time was not a deal at all.
Yeah.
I find that those people always seem to be like downloading the problem to me. If I try not to even go to quotes like that because all they're doing is downloading the problem to me. Like somehow I'm responsible for the problem, and now I'm there, so I'm the last person to see it or touch it. So I'm the one who fucked it up or something. I don't know. I get a negative vibe from those people all the time. I'm like, I'm sorry that you fucked this up, but hiring this fucked up person. But what do you expect? Like, there's um, there's a disconnect. So
I went to a wall project in the spring. The girl called me. She's like, "We need a retaining wall around our pool. They didn't give us one last year." So I went, and then you could tell it was like a COVID pool install, right? Like when everybody was jumping on the pool thing, and the pool is sort of halfway buried in the yard, but halfway not. So you needed a retaining wall around three sides. And she's like, "Oh, the landscape was in the package, but we didn't want to pay for the retaining wall." I'm like, then why the fuck am I here? Because why do you like you didn't want to pay for it the first time? You didn't want to pay the guys who did a shitty landscape job around your pool, but you want to pay someone else to put it in now? Like, it's like, well, we just need prices. Like, fuck me. Why did I even come?
did you tell them I'm not pricing this?
No, I priced it, and then it was like 30 grand or so, probably what they cost to put the fucking pool in. Um, Obviously we didn't get it. And then she's like, I said, well, to keep costs down, could we do topsoil and grass seed, like our cow trail out and everything? And she's like, no, I want topsoil and sod. Okay. She's like, and you have to move this garden and you have to do this. And we're on a budget. And then it's like, there's a real fucking disconnect here from your COVID pool to what needs to happen to get this place up and running. Plus, you don't even have a fence. So at any point, someone could run into your pool and die. A child could run into your pool and die. And
Fuck children.
I really don't want the
They should learn how
liability.
to take care of themselves.
Yeah.
You can't just protect everyone all the time. Fences, holes. Any more questions, Mike?